And ECO did the same when the president's daughter got married.
That is the way it ought to be. That, look, we have differences, but look, this aside, let's talk about what is important at this point. You know that even when ECO died, before President Hichilema posted on his page, other presidents around the continent had posted. He was supposed to be the first to offer condolences. As a matter of fact, he was the one supposed to announce. Even today, I can bet other presidents around the continent will post the legacy of ECO before our own president. My appeal to the president and his handlers, he would actually be uniting this country. You'll be uniting this country on such a day if you show love to ECO in his death.
Do you think that on a day like this, even the UPND sympathizers themselves will be able to come out and say, we wish he was actually buried by this time?
I hope they can. Look, it is during memorials and funerals that you are not allowed to say bad things about the departed. Funerals and memorials is about the good that the person did. We've not had the privilege to have a funeral. We have a privilege to have a memorial. We can maximize it to unite the country.
We've swapped it, eh?
Yes.
Memorial before the funeral. Only in Zambia. Only in Zambia.
Paul's perspective, maybe this will give us some sort of, I don't want to say closure because then he hasn't been put to rest, but maybe it will lead us, forward.
Actually, you see, it's just that sometimes we miss out opportunities to unite the country, especially on the part of the leaders. You know that the president can unite the two forces even on this day by even calling for a service that he attends in remembering the legacy.
Wow.
You know that.
Can he do that?
No, but
Wow.
you see,
If he did.
If he did, it might be a game changer.
I am telling you,
It might be.
he'll be healing hearts. I'm telling you. It is even when I attended one funeral some time back, John Mark, of a criminal in the community. Non-criminal in the community. Oh, the eulogies that were being given. He was a good man. Good father. Present father.
Wow.
Even some of the people that knew, like...
So he was good to his family.
Yes.
Yes.
But that is... No one spoke ill of that man. No one. By the way, that man was gunned down by C5. That's how that... And there were many people. Because during funerals and memorials, Bwana, hatred dies. We speak into the good because umuntabi pakonse.
Does it die or it goes on recess?
It dies during that period. Remember, on recess. That is the word.
Or it resurrects
Afterwards. But at that point, speak good about the person. This is where the president was supposed to even direct the churches. Please open up your churches to remember the legacy of my predecessor. It can send a different tone in the country.
Remember what he has done about Pezeni on the
Yes.
Tuesday.
Yes.
What if he did it today?
Yeah.
To say let's just at least have a day, a somber day. Let the flags fly at half-mast.
Yes, because look, whether we like it or not, when the Supreme Court concludes and makes judgment, if it goes in the favor of government and is buried according to government wishes, we'll still go for
back
national mourning.
to national mourning.
We'll still go back. The same people that were criticizing and attacking ECO in his death will be forced to observe national mourning. In honor of who? The same man that you are vilifying.
But people always talk the good, the bad. You do good things, they'll always talk. The bad, they'll always talk. If you had to do that also, the president, with what you're calling for, won't others call that hypocritical? Like, why is he showing that now? The man has not even been buried. What would be the way?
During funerals, Bwana, we are allowed to be hypocrites. During funerals, memorials, please, we are allowed to be hypocrites. Because that is not a day to speak bad about the departed.
We're allowed to be hypocrites.
Yes. If I can put it that way. Because that day, you are only expected to say the good about an individual.
Even if you know it was not true.
Even if you know. Because already people have lost someone. Don't add salt to the wound by reminding us, oh, he was corrupt. No, he was a card. No. That is not a day. There's time for everything. There's time for everything.
Remember when ECO died and then people were issuing statements left, right, and center. When the president came to speak, people were eager to hear what the head of state was going to say. And one of the things he mentioned was to say that let's allow the individuals that are affiliated to the Patriotic Front and ECO to mourn. Let's allow them to have one or two statements here and there. They're in the mourning period. If at all statements are said today that might be controversial, do you think that that statement by the president will still hold water?
I don't know. Yes, the member say at I think in the East I told you that Swamugira Pakama because they are hurt, they are grieved, so they say things. You hear some women as they enter funeral homes. Washanani, wala sunga bana ni nani walufianya iwe. Nani wala sunga bana fwe basha to ifupuba. Shana. You hear mama. But you can't stop saying that. They are grieving.
And who are you calling a fool?
No, say just say vale rosha, vale keni. After 1 year at this point, Bwana, first of all, I know that it is embarrassing for us as Zambians to have this first memorial without having buried ECL. But at this point, can we unite as one? For me, that is what I actually expected. And that's what I expected. They're still young. That's what I expect. That, dear leaders, you're watching. I know you follow these conversations. Don't politic. It's better even silent than saying anything negative about ECO and the Patriotic Front on such a day. On such a day, if you have nothing good to say, actually, you'd be wise to remain silent. You'll be very wise to remain silent. Don't vilify the dead on such a day. On such a day, Mr. President, try to say something that brings us together. Yes, people are free to choose their political affiliation, affiliate everywhere, anywhere they want. They are free to be PF, to be UPND. That is their democratic right. But on such a day, can you remind us that that becomes secondary? You see, he has a lot of influence. And sometimes that's my cry, that leaders don't realize the influence they carry in determining even the mood of the country. It's like women. You know that a woman determines the atmosphere, Panganda?
Absolutely.
John Mark, when you marry, you hear the word picture no sound. Now you cannot understand it.
Picture no sound.
The married understand it.
But I'm sure he has a hint. But well, of course, until he lives it and experiences it.
Maybe now he understands picture no sound.
But how do I do that?
Yeah. There's what we call picture no sound in marriage. PMC will guide you. Where, Bwana, Simukambisana, nje picture no sound. You're in the same house, Simukambisana. No picture, no sound. Because Mayambana.
How long does that picture no sound last?
The woman, in my view, actually, is the determinant. She determines the atmosphere, Panganda. and sometimes women don't realize the influence that they have in determining. Sa Pangando mukashinga na fulwa. Everyone, including the children, will feel the heat.
Absolutely.
They'll feel the heat. Even when you as the man, you want to be very jovial. For as long as your wife is not jovial, she's happy, she's sad over something, especially over you.
The children will follow suit.
Yes. The woman determines the atmosphere in the home. The president, my point, determines the atmosphere in the country. He plays a huge role in determining how we behave and how we think in the country. He can put us to order. But sometimes they never utilize the influence that they have. They never. It's like in institutions. The charas, MDs, they determine the influence and the atmosphere in the workspaces.
They hold the picture no sound.
Yes. They can determine whether you're going to have picture no sound or not. They can determine. So, on such a day, the church are supposed to be here to speak, but very difficult to even find credible voices in the church, except individuals like Bish. Maybe some don't understand Bish, don't know Bish, Naomi.
Right.
Eddie Mulenga.
Bishop Eddie Mulenga. Yeah, we call him Bish.
He's a bishop of the nation.
Bish at least has spoken. Have you heard the voice of Bishop Imakando on this matter? That's a national figure in this country. Have you heard his voice? Have you heard his voice? Bishop Imakando, maybe you might not understand. Sir, you carry a lot of influence. You might not hold a position here and there. I know, I think in some association or something, he was elected, I think president or vice president or something. He has a lot of influence. I remember in 2021, he was preaching a sermon. I don't know if you remember that. The sermon that took the country into talking. He preached a sermon and said, it is time to change what is not working. The politicians didn't like that, especially the Patriotic Front. He says, it is time to change what is not working. It was a general sermon to his members. If your relationship is not working, change it. You know, it was election period, and you know how you can interpret. If your business is not working, change it. But he went further. If your leaders are not performing, change them. All the Patriotic Front members attacked him. Why are you encouraging people to change government? That's a level of influence he carries. Unfortunately, with due respect to you, man of God, and many other men of God, you have not helped us.
And on Facebook, if you check the structures that he commissions almost every month, you find that the church, the structures are so big. The following, you cannot run away from the fact that Bread of Life has got the numbers.
For me,
so if he spoke,
for me, John Mark, I'll be very frank with you. If I look at the men of God we have in this country, one of the foremost fathers of this nation, spiritual fathers, is Bishop Joy Makando. One of, if not the spiritual father of all the pastors. I regard him. That was the path Nevers Mumba was headed to before he journeyed into politics.
Where is he now?
He's a politician.
Has that died?
He's a politician.
Where is his position in the church?
Yes, because he's a politician, so he has lost his position in the church.
But have you heard him preach?
Yes, no, he's lost his influence. Because now we look at him as a politician.
But the gift is still there.
The gift and the anointings of God are without repentance. God doesn't revoke them, doesn't bring them. Yes.
Right.
But he's lost that influence he had as a spiritual leader. But the one we have now in this country, Bishop Joe Imakando, and my appeal to him is, sir, you are the voice. In case you don't know, you are the voice. Because people like other people seem to have taken partisan politics, like Bishop Joshua Banda, for example. In my view, his association with politicians has reduced his influence.
What about Sanders Nyangwe?
Sanders Nyangwe also remains a good father in the country, but because of his association with the politicians and his remarks 4 or 5 years ago have affected the way people look at him.
How can you still be the voice and maybe incorporate all these politicians as a man of God?
Be like Father Chilinda, for example. You know, the late Father Chilinda. You are the voice, and yet you are father to everyone. The way Bish is. You know, in the arts industry, he's like the bishop of all artists. Bishop Eddie Mulenga. He fathers all artists. He attends most of the funeral services of artists. Regardless.
Not just attend, he's the one that actually presides over those funerals.
So he's placed himself as a father to all of them in the art industry. So it's possible to be a father to everyone. You mingle with everyone, and everyone regards you as this. Even if they see you with the other one, like, he's also my father. But the challenge with others is because they were associated with different politicians, now very difficult to unlabel them, to disassociate them from those politicians. Very difficult. But this case, colleagues, is very unfortunate.
What is your message to those who when you're talking about their pastor, we've itemized a number of them, they would take it like you're vilifying them. They touch not my anointed kind of member.
Come again?
What is your message to those individuals who interpret what we have talked about, the fact that we've mentioned the names of the clergy, and they'll look at it to say, the Bible says, touch not my anointed, and
No,
you have mentioned my pastor.
No, we're not touching them in the negative. We are actually making an appeal and reminding them the level of influence that they have. I think which is good. We're actually acknowledging the role that they play. It's actually a compliment.
That they have a voice.
Yeah, it's actually a compliment.
And they should be speaking.
Yes, I mean, even mentioning their names there without the churches not even paying for advertisements. It's a compliment we're actually giving to them, that in case maybe they don't realize, we regard them as a voice in this country who should be able to guide the happenings. We regard them in that way. And their voice is cardinal. I have not heard Bishop Makando speak on this matter.
And you're very positive that had he spoken,
Yes.
things would have been different because of the influence that he carries.
Because of the influence. Most of the pastors in this country subscribe or they regard him as their mentor, their father, spiritual cover. Most of them.
Right.
That speaks volumes into the voice that he carries.
What about Bishop Billy Mfula?
Well, I think he also
Yes.
remains one of those fathers.
Because over the years, he has
Right.
also maintained that kind
Yes.
of
Yes,
reputation.
we forgot
Non-partisan as well.
Yes.
But they've also not spoken on this matter. They've also not, if they have spoken, their voice has not been so much publicized. Unfortunately, if they have spoken.
When Patrick Kangwa and Makebi Zulu were presenting that united front at one particular point, as if they had spoken and things were going to unite, I think Bishop Billy Mfula was actually on the table on that particular.
Maybe Bishop Joshua Banda.
Yes.
Joshua Banda,
So,
yes.
so could we say that maybe they might be in the background and we might hear in the future?
Which future?
Like I said, them will say, no,
distant
we've
future.
been involved, but maybe in the background.
No, we don't want you. We don't want your voice in the background. You don't light a candle and put it under your bed. It will be of no use.
Have any of our pastors here spoken? Because we're all spiritual people and we have our pastors. Have our pastors been involved?
I don't think so. No wonder I'm saying all churches, including our churches.
Right.
Including our churches, where we are all coming from. Mount Zion, Bishop Bruce Msidi, his voice has not been heard. Mount Moriah, is Bishop or Reverend?
Mrs. Bishop.
Bishop Mambwe.
And yours?
We've not heard their voices. I don't have a Zambian pastor, so maybe that's why.
It's okay. His voice could still be heard. He's a man of
been able
God.
to speak, but it's just been able to just remind us generally to say, let's ensure that we pray for the nation, but also avoid politics from the pulpit. He also categorically mentioned to say, if you see them come, it's not that I've invited them. If they come, they're going to come as members.
So I'll call about your church.
Yes, he can.
Yes, because like that's what I'm saying, that he had mentioned to say, if you see them
the history. Unfortunately, that can be erased. He was our president.
And it will always be like that.
And it will always be like that.
There were some women want to erase certain men they have dated. No, you can't erase because you were with those men.
That's how I say, no, it's not my ex. Don't count him. If you are counting exes, that's why. What's up, Fakapo?
It's somewhere
Fakapo.
And how do you feel a day like this is going to augur for the likes of Dasila Lungu, the likes of Deli Solungu? How do you feel they are also perceiving a day like this?
John Mark, away, that's what I'm saying, away from politics. All of us have lost loved ones. The first year is a very emotional day for especially close family members. Unless we're not human beings. Remove the politics, remove everything. Remove.
Please emphasize remove.
Yes, remove the politics. All of us have lost some loved one time or another. 12 months down the line after we lost that loved one, there's certain emotions that are invoked, certain memories. And that is the kind of a day for the Lungu family today. You may not like them, but that is what the day looks like for them. Fresh memory. Remember this day, Tasila with her husband announcing to the nation. They were crying on that day.
And remember how close and loving that, Tasila had a relationship with the father.
Even during the handover of instruments of power to HH, Tasila was the only one that escorted Isiel.
Not even the wife.
Even witnessing the booing of Isiel. Imagine how this day feels to them.
Those might be the memories going through her mind.
They remember growing up. They remember away from the presidency. They remember him as a father, as a husband. So it's a very emotive day for them. And I hope it can be an emotive day for all of us.
As Zambians.
As Zambians. That is the way to take such a day. You think on the day we'll be burying Mpezeni on Tuesday, people will start talking about the bad about Mpezeni. In fact, anyone that tries it, I think would be a very strange individual.
But you'd hear or come across strange individual with strange statements that will say, maybe in fire ICOs in Antachepo, because really I've never really been a fan. What do you make of such a person with such statements?
We're not saying you should be a fan. You're within your democratic right not to be a fan or to be a fan. But it is still your responsibility to honor and respect our leaders. Even the scriptures guides us. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. We have leaders ruling over Jerusalems. How will you pray for the peace of Jerusalem if you don't love even the leaders? So, it's okay for you not to be a fan, but it's not okay for you to vilify the departed just because you're not a fan. Keep quiet. On such a day, let's come together as Zambians. I think that's what I would like to see, John Mark, now. On such a day, let's come together and remember Isiel for one thing, the good he did as our former president. Let's remove the reasons why he's not been buried, because that has the potential to divide us. Because there are two conflicting views between government and the Lungu family. I hope on this day we don't get into the details of those. Because it's not a day to remember the bad. It's a day to remember the good about an individual.
So it's not a day to remember the impasse?
No, it's not a day to talk about the burial impasse. Tomorrow we can talk about it. Today, dear Zambians, let's be Zambians and remember this man for the good he did. Let's remember this man for standing up for the dignity of this country when the West wanted to bring homosexual laws in this country in the name of aid. This man said, no, allow us to remain in poverty if that is what it means to get your money. Let's remember him for that. Otherwise we'll be seeing men and marrying men, women marrying women as laws in this country if it wasn't for that man. He stood his ground, told international media It says, if it means getting aid from you, and the condition is that we introduce gay laws, I think we have always, and you remember
In
the way,
tone.
in a tone, I think we have always known how to survive in our poverty. In our poverty, we will run here and there and we survive. But to bow down, we would be seeing pastors going to marrying men today, if it wasn't for the leadership of ECL. Let's remember him for that, at least on such a day. Otherwise, we'll be saying, John Mark, boyfriend,
Wow.
a young lady was telling me one time that she has been suspected the boyfriend is cheating. Guess what? She discovered the boyfriend is cheating with his best friend, male.
Wow.
He says, look, the cheating, I think, is one thing. Cheating with another man.
Oh, wow. Is
Another
another.
That is what we are going to be seeing in this country.
Openly.
Openly.
And actually, if President Hakainde Hichilema is pushing that narrative, it's coming from somewhere.
It's coming from somewhere.
It's backing.
Look, we didn't care that an ambassador has even been sent out. Daniel Foot left this country as US ambassador to Zambia because he condemned our judiciary for sentencing a gay couple in Kabwe for practicing homosexuality. The ambassador wrote a statement condemning our government. Our government was not shy to criticize the ambassador to the point of him being sent back to his country under the leadership of ECL. On such a day, let's reflect on such. Let's reflect on such as Zambians. I don't think you will lose your UPND membership if you remember the good about ECL today. So was ampishani mchipani cha CF or mchipani cha socialist or mchipani cha UPND, if you remember the good that ECL did. Today, let's be one people. I hope it's not too much to ask now, Major. I don't think it's too much to ask. Even of the UPND members.
Is it doable?
Very doable. Very doable. Put your emotions, political views aside, and let's remember ACL for the leader that he was, the good leader that he was, the bridges we use today, the schools that were built. Let's remember him for that.
Is it too much to ask to also expect the same or some cordial kind of commenting by the Facebook analysts, the Facebook political analysts who feel they know everything?
And they are also Zambians. And we are speaking to them that, yes, you have a platform called Facebook that Mark Zuckerberg has given you.
And you use pseudonyms.
Yes, you even use pseudonyms because you don't want us to know the real you. Go to Naomi's page. She hasn't changed the name. It's still Naomi. Go to Paul. It's still Paul. Why are you changing your name?
Putting a very funny name.
Yes. Putting names that because you don't want us to know who you really are. Then you start typing in the comfort of your home things that divide this country. The things that unite us are greater than those things that divide us. If we're serious about unity on such a day, especially during this election period, we can use this day to pacify our hearts as Zambians and remember the good that ECL did. The Bio impasse is a conversation we can pick up tomorrow.
Not today.
And not today. Today is not a day to point fingers. If the Lungu family if the government, I think we've spoken about that enough for the past 1 year. Embarrassingly as it is, those conversations has forced us not to bury ACL 1 year later.
Actually, even war has got a period called ceasefire.
Yes.
Even the Russia-Ukraine war, there will be a time when they will agree to say, I think for now, let the missiles not stop flying. Let's at least just have a brief moment to breathe. This might be that day.
Ceasefire, please. Ceasefire.
No,
UPND. Ceasefire. I hope they are listening. I mean, NDB. Ceasefire.
How do you know where she belongs?
Ceasefire. Please. Let's unite.
The PF as well.
Yes,
Right.
PF. Don't blame the UPND. Don't blame the UPND. Don't blame President HH. If it wasn't for HH, by now they'd be married. It's not a day. Because we can also apportion the same blame to you. So blame game on such a day is not welcome. And Mr. President, lastly, as we conclude our thoughts on this, you have a huge role to play on such a day. Please don't be silent. Please don't be silent. President Hakainde Hichilema, please don't be silent on such a day, on your page. Speak into the legacy of a predecessor. Highlight one or two things that you remember your predecessor for. He was going to behave like Donald Trump, refuse to hand over power, refuse to attend the inauguration. Remember him for peaceful transition of power. Peaceful transition of power. The people that have lost peace in other countries is because they never valued peace. They took for granted the peace they saw. Say, so it's normal for people to hand over power. It's normal. In other countries, it's not normal. It is not. For us, even despite Israel being booed, he still did what the constitution demanded him to. Oh, remember, he had the instruments of power.
He would have held on to them.
We have seen that in other countries. You would have held on to them, Bwana. You would have done so. He had state security backing him. Sometimes we take for granted such, because maybe we don't know what's happening in other countries. We need to begin to remind the people what's happening in other countries. Some leaders let violence take center stage. And let me speak into, South Africa, for example, because our Zambians are affected. Look at the xenophobic attacks in South Africa. I was watching a piece that Zambian journalist working for BBC, Dinginda Bajona, did, where they are running away from their country. Says, we have invested here, but look, we have to go back to our countries because our investments have been taken away, grabbed in the full face of the president. I want to believe one of the things that increase xenophobic attacks in South Africa is the docility of the president. There is no way as commander-in-chief you would allow the country to turn the way South Africa is turning. That clip I saw, that Jonah did, good clip, is very unfortunate. They come into your shop. Get out, get out. They get your goods. No order right now. They come in your homes. They've been going in their homes. What country are you from? Zambia. Get out. Bring your things. Bwana. And the president is there in the country. The police are there. The army is there. No. We can't allow such to happen when the president is available. President Ramaphosa. It's very, very strange what's happening in your country.
And sometimes we definitely seem to take advantage of that.
Yes.
We are living peacefully here. Yeah. We house many people.
Yes.
And nothing of that sort is done to them.
We take for granted the peace that we enjoy.
Even prominent people like that public speaker from South Africa, Vusi,
Yeah.
He went to Nigeria and he downplayed it. He says, no, it's just the media trying to paint the picture. I said to myself, who does he think is hoodwinking?
Yeah.
Someone with that much authority and at least numbers should be able to also speak. So genuinely also when the leaders keep quiet, they are also sending a message.
They are consenting to the chaos. They are consenting.
Silence is consent.
Yes, silence is consent. So I saw the president of South Africa firing the chief of police, putting an acting female to head the police. It is not in that country. He needs to declare a state of emergency in that country. You know the way people are moving, like in Sudan. People are not paying attention to what's happening in South Africa. Like in Sudan, South Sudan, in Darfur. Those are the scenes in South Africa. When the president is available, the president is present, commander-in-chief, the army are present. Our Zambians are displaced there. And Minister of Foreign Affairs keep giving us updates. The state of our Zambian nationals there.
Actually, they should be giving us weekly updates.
Yes, weekly updates.
The same way, remember when it was COVID, it was a daily thing.
Yes.
We would get daily updates. So many people
Yeah.
have died. There are so many suspected cases. So we were used to that. That's what we should be able to expect. But there's also silence in that regard.
There's also silence in that regard. The ambassador that we have sent here in South Africa, what is the update? Press attaché, Alexander Msokotwane, what's former colleague? What's happening?
Let's hear from you now.
Let's hear from you now. This is the time to hear from you. What is the state of our Zambians in South Africa? Are they safe? For Zambians, look at the way how proactive America is. Even before the elections, they urged their citizens that please be careful. There could be civil unrest in the country because of elections.
Even though we disputed that,
Yeah.
it was their mandate to do that to their people.
Can the embassy in South Africa tell the Zambians here that in case you're planning to travel to South Africa, this is the situation? Have we seen that communique? No. So for people that are planning to travel to South Africa, how will they know whether it is safe or not? Because our embassy, our press attaché, our first secretary for press, Alexander, is also quiet. Colleague,
I hope you're safe though.
maybe they are not safe themselves. Eh?
Speaking for others, can't you?
Yeah.
We shall be able to get in touch with our colleague Alexander
Right.
and check how safe Zambians are in South Africa. So that in case you are out there planning to travel to South Africa, you should be able to know whether it is safe or not. But we expect these updates to be coming from there, and also from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation.
Absolutely. After this short break, I think we'll be able to check out from what's coming out from the newspapers. We didn't actually do weather and money markets, but it's late. After this short break, the papers.
Start your day with Sunrise Breakfast Show. The flagship morning show on Prime TV2. Wake up to breakfast news as it happens.
What if you're not away?
In-depth discussions on the day's top stories. Live reporter check-ins from across the country. Expert analysis on government policies and their impact. The latest in local and international sports. Catch us on Topstar Channel 110 and follow us on Facebook at PTV2 Zambia.
Sunrise Breakfast.
Sunrise Breakfast Show only on Prime TV2, the home of breaking news.
The Public-Private Dialogue Forum, PPDF, announces the Mid-Year Private Sector Day, scheduled for 11th and 12th June 2026 at Mlangushi International Conference Center, KK Wing in Lusaka. This year's event will be held under the theme Driving Jobs and Shared Prosperity, Private Sector Steering Development and Growth. On 11th June 2026, the Mid-Year Private Sector Day will feature a series of panel discussions covering environmental, social and corporate responsibility, fiscal, tax and regulatory policy, SMEs, youth entrepreneurship and local content, labor, job creation and skills development, the circular economy, promoting beef exports and value-added trade opportunities. On 12th June 2026, the program will focus reporting tangible progress made by the private sector in response to government-led reforms, including investment outcomes, job creation, and lessons learned in the last 5 years. The PPDF invites stakeholders to partner with us by sponsoring the Mid-Year PSD. For more information, email ppdf-info@ppdf.gov.zm.
Welcome to New World of Entertainment in Zambia. Cartoons, music, news, movies, drama, series, documentaries, food, travel, the best from Hollywood and Bollywood, international football, including CAF competitions, La Liga, Serie A, German Bundesliga, Saudi League, Carabao Cup, Asian Championship, Barclays Women's League, local leagues, and much more. Grab your Azam TV decoder at 350 Zambian Kwacha and full kit at 589 Zambian Kwacha. Affordable monthly packages: 100 Zambian Kwacha, 200 Zambian Kwacha, and 300 Zambian Kwacha. For more details, contact us on 971-246-222, 763-664-455. WhatsApp 77-500-0013. Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
Keep the conversations going on a different social platform, the Prime Television Facebook page Zambia this morning. And of course, let us know where you're watching the show from. Even with so much to tackle on the show yesterday, we did see the president assent to 5 bills, including the Landmark Education Amendment Bill 2026, transforming the free education policy into law. We did speak about it yesterday, which actually even did coincides with the president's 64th birthday yesterday, Paul.
Indeed, and of course, that is something we did speak about extensively yesterday, and how we are very happy, John Mark Nami, that we now have free education as law, not as policy. We're happy that even the pensioners actually are getting more money. They are able now to get even a lump sum, stated yesterday. It's a good time to date a retiree.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
It's a good time to date
absolutely.
A retiree. Just ensure that might as well sugar daddy.
At this point, it's don't say it right.
But that is what the UPND government is able to do, making life easier even for the pensioner. Someone on the caller said yesterday that it's not free money. Remember that this was a challenge in the PF. People have retired. Getting their pension was a huge challenge. But now with this administration, you're able to say that you get a certain portion, the rest they continue to give you every other month. Now they've adjusted it from 1.8 to 2 point something. That is, some good, gesture given to retirees. We used to see retirees camping at State House, Minister of Justice, Minister of Finance. We used to see them. Do you see them now? No. Because there is a government that has paid attention to the needs of the retirees. If you don't take care of the elderly, I don't know what kind of society you are. I don't know. Even just the way we're taught. You're in a bus or in a public place, you're seated, you see an elderly person come, leave the seat. Just this today's generation. That will just be stuck there looking at an elderly person standing. But the way we're taught is elderly first, take care of them. And that's what this government is simply trying to do, by reforming the laws in our pensions. And I think a huge congratulations to the UPND for scoring that feat. A huge congratulations also for ensuring that, yes, education, like Nelson Mandela said, is the best equalizer. But in as much as it is the best equalizer, make it accessible. Make it accessible. And by ensuring that it is free, not as a policy but as law, is walking the talk. And the president really has walked the talk. He reminds me of Mwanawasa. Mwanawasa said when he became president that, look, we're not as rich as a country, but let's begin from somewhere. Let's have free education from grade 1 to grade 7. And Mwanawasa implemented it. It was a policy which was never broken. From Mwanawasa's days, grade 1 to grade 7 was free, has been free. All the presidents that came after Manawasa, Arabi, never thought of taking it upwards. Sata never thought of taking it upwards. Lungu never thought of taking it upwards. Only HA said, look, from grade 7, we thank God for what Manawasa did, but let's take it further.
And I hope even in the near future, should there be somebody else, like we did speak even yesterday, like hope somebody will be able to actually even take this further even in college, university, because that's now where the real challenges are.
Yes, I was looking at a country yesterday that has made, that has scrapped off university fees for everyone.
Wow.
One of the developed countries. No more paying university fees. In fact, it's for international students. For as long as you've managed to travel, when you go there, Bwana, you're okay. Those are the levels we should be getting to as a country. And whether it is President Hichilema or the one that will come after him, do not scrap off or abolish this law. Build further. Don't destroy. Build further. Build further. If HH wanted, we would have scrapped off free education from grade 1 to 7 and says, look, we don't have money. We had no money in the treasury. We were trying to pay our debt. So it was going to be justifiable, by the way, because our economy was shrinking. But it says, look, I know our economy is shrinking, but let's put P1 first, priorities. And a huge congratulations to the president, the UPND government. As a country, as Zambians, we are very excited that we are moving. It's a right foundation to put. And you see, the benefits of free education might not be seen today or tomorrow. They'll be seen in years. This is a long-term investment. The child that is in school this year, those 2.6 children that were on the streets that are now in school, you may not see the impact tomorrow. In the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you'll see. Look at President Hichilema himself. He tells us every time, if it wasn't for bursaries at University of Zambia, I was not going to manage to pay.
Wasn't he walking barefoot?
Yeah. Ngizochemela ng'ombe. Ngizochema ng'ombe. Walking barefoot. But because UNIP prioritized that, the bursary system worked, he trained as an economist from Wengwa. A child from Wengwa. You know where Wengwa is? Far from here. Typical villager. But because of being given access to education, the man trained as an economist. Because of that, look at how the man is managing our economy today as Republican president. That is something that we are extremely proud of as a country, and we're very, very happy to see this happen as a people. A huge congratulations.
Could it be why he was saying the other camp, they want to come back and do what?
Yeah, let's speak.
I have done it all.
Let's speak into that. The president also, took time to politic a bit yesterday. It was unnecessary, by the way.
But he did it anyway.
Yeah, but he did it anyway. It was unnecessary, number one, because sometimes I think it's okay to just talk about the policies you are introducing and leave it there. But he's a politician and it's campaign period, so he will use every other opportunity. It's like John Mark, you want to propose to Naomi. Before you propose, any interaction you have, you want to sell yourself like you are the good guy. But
you've done the works. You've done the works already. Is campaign necessary?
Campaign is always necessary.
Oh, okay.
Go, even if you've done all the works necessary. You've gone to school, Naomi, everything. Go before an interviewing panel for a job. You will sell yourself
Definitely.
there. No, I actually work well without supervision.
Even when your CV is right in front.
Even when the CV is right in front, you still say, look, me, I'm a good person. In fact, for me, I'll turn around this institution.
That's where my strengths are.
So, possibly he was trying to utilize the opportunity. But let's see what the president said in that regard. He did make a few jabs on the opposition. I have a few thoughts to share around that. But let's see what the president said yesterday around the opposition.
We lost 10 years after 2011. Totally lost it. And now the colleagues want to come back. To do what? You can change the nameplate that you are now a different creature. You are the same. You can change the name. You can change the t-shirt color. You are the same.
Of course, that is the president speaking into what do they want to come and do. He spoke into very important things. He said, look, we know who they are. They may change their colors, but we know who they are. They may change the name of the institution, but we know who they are. We know them for who they are. They are the same people that ran down this country. He's made a statement. If we had taken over as UPND in 2011, instead of PF taking over in 2011, says if it was us, this country was going to be at another level.
If I was with you before the manual, you would be.
Meaning, he says we wasted 10 years with the PF. They did to this country. We spent 3.5 years trying to correct the rot.
Using debt restructuring.
Yes. So, when they say they want to come back, we know them. They are the same people. They can change the t-shirt color, party name, but they are the same people. I was laughing when I was hearing that. And here was why I was laughing. I don't know how you interpret it. My own interpretation. The president was simply telling us that the PF members who have joined him in UPND are the same. They haven't changed. Kampamba Mulenga is still the same. We should not trust her. That's what you're simply telling us.
But he's with him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, she's with him.
Robert
now.
Chavinga, he's still PF. We should not trust him. Sunday Chanda, he's PF. We should not trust him. That is what you're simply telling us.
Or was he saying the ones that are not with him?
No. He says they may have changed the color. So the Andrew Lubushas, the Sunday Chandas are no longer using the green t-shirt. They are using the red. But they are the same according to the president.
So in other words, Wakalema.
Taleka.
That is his interpretation?
In my interpretation. That you're simply also saying that even the same PF that left PF and have joined the UPND, they have not changed. They are the same corrupt individuals that he has embraced. So, Mr. President, my question to him is, why are you embracing unrepentant individuals? Why are you embracing Kampamba Mulenga? Why are you embracing Patrick Samuimbila, who stood on the PF ticket in 2021 in Monali?
Now has rejoined the UPND.
Now has rejoined you, is the campaign manager in Monali.
He has endorsed Sipalo.
But they say keep your enemies close and your enemies closer. Maybe is that the concept? If you keep them closer, you can be able to monitor them?
No, but he was teaching us that we should not trust the PF because they are the same. The PF includes those that are now with him. So simply teaching us that even the ones from the PF, if I was...
or maybe he was excluding those ones who are now with him.
How? If you are among those, Robert Chavinga, Sunday Chanda, Kampamba Mulenga, and all the others, I think you'll be wallowing in shame. Huh? Because you'll be thinking, so he's talking about me that have not changed. Even hide under the chair.
Knowing how politicians are really, would there be like that?
No, but simply saying that they haven't changed. So, dear Zambians, what the president is teaching us is that we should not trust Sunday Chanda. Don't trust Robert Chavinga. Don't trust Andrew Lubusha. Don't trust George Huye. Don't trust all these that have defected from the PF to UPND. They are the same. According to his words, they might change the color of the t-shirt, but we know they are thieves.
Now,
we know they are corrupt.
As the August 13th, elections draws closer, Paul, what factors should actually shape the people's choices?
It's very difficult because
after
now
hearing the president speak,
it says that the people who are going to vote are wondering. So this one that left the PF is still the same, but has joined you. So do they change when they join UPNG, or they are still the same? I think you're simply putting a jab, because others are busy endorsing him. Others are even planning to endorse him today.
Publicly
Today. Others are planning this afternoon. PF, they're planning this afternoon to endorse President. Miles Sampa is scheduled to endorse HH, according to what we have heard.
But how will he also interpret what the president said?
Meaning he has not changed. So even if he endorses, we should see him as PF. So all the PF MPs, all the PF aspiring MPs now that have joined the UPND, all those UPND aspiring MPs that came from the PF, we are looking at you as unrepentant individuals, according to what the president taught us. It was a lecture.
Oh, he meant something else, maybe.
We are free to interpret it in where we choose. I choose to interpret it in that way. And I'm asking a question. Am I wrong to see things in that way? Am I wrong? Because they're simply telling the Zambians, don't let them fool you. They are still the same people that ran down this country.
But those same people have also joined you.
Yeah. So they are the same people. Even despite joining the UP, they are still the same people.
Or maybe they are different because they have joined the UPND now.
You should have told us that, except those that have joined me. Maybe.
Wow.
But because he didn't say that, he didn't put a disclaimer, we regard all former PF MPs who have joined the UPND to still, like Kampa Mamlenga said, carrying Ichibanda cha green.
No, Chibanda cha kalabganji.
So, that is what the president said. We are free to interpret it the way we choose to interpret it. But I know that we are running out of time, John Mark, Naomi, but let me just glance a few stories.
From the papers.
From the tabloids. But also, very important update, John Mark, Naomi. There was a letter that Gary Kombo wrote that we have gotten hold of. I think you see that on your screen. Gary Kombo, the subject there is resignation from the UPND. He has officially resigned. He has written the letter like an experienced politician indeed. You'll see that on your screen shortly. Kindly refer to the above subject and the provisions of the law pertaining to one who wishes to contest as a parliamentarian as an independent candidate. The law provides that one is compelled to resign from their party 60 days before the election's date, which date falls not beyond the 12th of June. In this circumstance, despite, now this is Gary, despite my most sincere pledges of allegiance and commitment to the party, despite, that's a letter on your screen, the series of events leading up to the 20th of May, both unpublicized and now overtly displayed, such as the assault occasioning actual bodily harm and damage to my property at the hands of well-known PND members, indicate that I'm no longer welcome to the party. This has left me with no option other than to cut my losses. Gary is very careful with the choice of his words. Other than to cut my losses, meaning it's a loss. Huh? In view of the above, I regrettably, painstakingly resign from APNG. Meaning it's painful.
Wow.
It's a regrettable action.
But you're still resigning.
Because of the things that have happened.
Could it be termed as a political divorce?
Yes. I also wish to put on record my sincere most gratitude to the entire rank and file of the UPND that I served in various February 2001 up until now. 2001.
Wow.
He's been a member of this institution. I wish my erstwhile family good tidings.
No wonder Mrs. Gary was swept away. I mean, who wouldn't?
So Gary has officially resigned from the party. He has been a member since February 2001, and the side is indicated that some of the events that have led up to the 20th of May, that that attack are the things that have forced him to resign, and he regrets leaving. It's actually a painful decision. like John Mark, I think the way you've put it, it's a painful divorce. There's no divorce that is not painful. There'll never be.
Even though both of you have agreed to amicably, there's no way to.
Someone wants to color it. It's painful. No matter.
Remember, on a lighter note, we did see some influencers at some point. They were out there, in the water. I think they went to boat cruise or something, and they were like, "I'm divorced." They were very happy.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, "No, don't paint divorce like that."
Yes. No matter how you may want to portray to the public and pretend, we know divorce never leaves an individual the same. Even this political divorce, guy will never be the same. I was hearing Maximo on the platform yesterday warning Gary that he should not even use the name of the president during campaigns. You see, there's a reason why senior people in the UPND are not speaking against Gary. I can tell you, you'll not hear Jack Mwimbo speak against Gary. I can bet you'll not hear Mwetwa, who is the UPND national spokesperson, speak against Gary. Just because we've parted ways doesn't mean go and embarrass me and speak ill of me in public. And these young people in UPND,
anything
it's
bad
the Mues and the others that are speaking ill of senior people that they should be learning from. There's a reason you not hear Jack Mwimbo speak against Gary. You not hear Masebo speak against Gary. You don't hear the senior veterans in the UPND speak against. In as much as, you see, it's actually immaturity when you divorce someone and begin to say, that's why I never see her. Every other person will know you're immature. Just because, you see, I loved what Savoy told me one time when I featured her on Matters Arising. Says, Paul, yes, I'm divorced with Oras Mwape, but I share a very good relationship with him.
That interview actually did absolutely amazing. The comments that came in from that post, people were actually even encouraging some of them were encouraging them to get together.
Yes.
Because of what was spoken.
Say, we still go and attend events of our children at their schools together. And yet we've both go separate ways. That is maturity. So young politicians need to learn that. It's the young ones, actually. Pay attention. The people that are speaking against Gary are the young politicians who are yet, like you said yesterday, John Mark, political interns. They are the ones speaking against us. The matured ones know that, look, tomorrow Gary can join us again. They know. They know the game. They know the game. Look at where Masebo is coming from. MMD. PF. Now she knows she can't speak against anytime she can join another political party. Tomorrow, Mark will work with Gary again. But your words. Remember what I said yesterday about Father Frank Walia's statement? Who went on national TV on my program, says we have in State House a useless president. Today, where is Frank Walia? Working with the same man he described as what? Useless. That's why we should guide politicians to be mindful what they say. We need to guide them. That look, like you said, John Mark, yesterday, they are not political, they are not permanent enemies in politics. Today, you may have different views. Tomorrow, you'll be dining together in the same institution. Look at Felix Mutati and Nevas Mumba. Those two are not meeting eye to eye over the fraction of MMD.
Pundu and who? The image we
Mother
saw?
Small. Yes. Today, Nevas Mumba and Felix Mutati are alliance partners in the UPND dining together. That's politics for you. And young politicians maybe need to be tutored. That look, learn from older people. Learn from older people. It's the young ones that are hyper. Maybe they think that they'll be loved by the rank and file of the party if they are vocal against the veterans. Even the president, when Gary was attacked that day, same day, in fact, same hour, President Ichitema posted that I don't condone violence. Same hour, I don't condone violence. Police, I urge you to move swiftly. Same hour, to tell you that, look, in as much as we are differing politically, there are other things that can unite us away from this.
And don't forget, this is a man who served from February since 2001.
2001.
In
Others are
different
just coming
capacities.
in now. When you enter an organization, check the people that have been there for years. Ask why they've been there. Learn. 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 There are people, for example, here that have been here 10 years. Learn why they are still stuck.
Right.
Why they are still relevant. Relevant in the institution for 10 years plus. Learn from them. You that have just come, say, Bwana, you go faster than you came. Politicians need to learn that. You go faster than you came. Learn. So, what has made you stay? How do you stay long here? In conclusion, I shared the story last time. When they appointed a new acting director general at ZAMSA, the acting DG of ZAMSA had a staff meeting. A junior staff who has been there for over 15 years, during the time of any other business, says anything you have to say. A junior staff who has been there over 15 years says, sir, you are welcome. But I hope we have seen many DGs come and go. I hope you will stay. Simply advising that if you want to stay, come and ask us.
Right. No mincing of words.
Come and ask us. We know what makes people leave. These are lessons of life.
Wisdom will require that you go ask.
Go and ask. No wonder, John Mark, the time you want to marry, get people like Mr. Mianda. They'll tell you. Not someone that is just 2 years in marriage. They haven't seen the seasons of marriage. Get someone that has seen full moons of marriage. They'll tell you, he behavior one book stay, valaya. He behavior, valaya.
He behavior, picture, no sound.
He behavior. You will see picture, no sound for 2 months. So behave. Let's learn. Let's ask our young politicians to learn from the older ones if they have to remain relevant in the political space.
We'll go on a very, very brief break, and then on the other side, we'll have back-to-back guests very quickly. Directors.
There's nothing confidential about the constitution making process, for God's sake.
Then this diplomat wants to be funny, funding people to say no, you must make sure that this constitution does not go through.
Aren't you the same people who removed our meal allowances? So you are removing HH and you want to come in. So as you remove our meal allowances again? Sorry.
This country was gone.
Under the PF?
Under the PF, this country, my man, was gone.
Ask him to come and explain. Is that not insults? Now it becomes an insult because it's poor why me, and that why me must be discarded. No.
From day one, Michael Sata wanted me dead. Not necessarily physically.
He wanted you dead?
I don't want to answer that one for now.
Maybe you become the first female president of this country.
Exactly. That's where it's going.
That's where it's going.
All right. I know that we have got limited amount of time, but back-to-back guests coming our way. First of all, beginning with the governance expert, Mr. Wesley Mianda on set, and then later on we'll be able to have JC Blaze, the award-winning sports journalist, our very own, and we are not shy to say it. But first and foremost, discussions around that with Mr. Mianda. Naomi, eager to host this this resident of Daybreak.
Absolutely, he's a resident of Daybreak. He's not a stranger, to this community, to this family, and of course, even with our viewers there. So as always, thank you for coming, Mr. Mianda. You are in all black. Why are you in all black today?
It's my pleasure being here. I'm in black because, one, I'm mourning our gallant paramount chief, Mpezeni, actually, who is yet to be put to rest sometime next week, on Tuesday possibly. And then I'm also still mourning the former head of state, Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, who is not yet buried up to today. Apart from that, Naomi, we don't just look at funerals or maybe dates as days of sorrow. We look at other issues that affect other people somewhere. These are the things that actually, come back to us so as to respond the way we've responded today in black. Yeah. On the other hand, we appreciate certain, issues that are happening around, especially the projects that are going on in this country. But there are people that bring some concerns over whatever they're going through, because sometimes they don't get paid, sometimes they are mistreated. So all these issues compounded together actually compel us to be the way we are today.
Right. Even before you came, we had a brief, conversation into the life of VCL today, obviously remembering him. The 5th of June marks exactly 1 year, from his demise. And of course, he hasn't been buried. But how would you like the country to actually remember this man?
Every leadership that comes has two sides, okay? But mostly we need to look at the positive side. ECL can be remembered in many ways, and as a former head of state, he led, the PF party, and he initiated a lot of projects in the country. I know after taking over from Mr. Michael Chilufya-Sata, he continued with the program of constructing roads and many other projects in the country. He of course tried his best to maintain peace, meaning we never had any squabbles with other countries. If at all we had any within ourselves as a country, which is very normal, but at the end of the day we still remained actually one nation. It's unfortunate that this man up to today not yet buried. The issue is in court, and we wouldn't love to delve into that. But all in all is we have all the reasons to remember, this gallant man of the Zambian soil. He did what he did, and other people came and took over, still continuing with what he left behind. It's a valid reason for us to remember him now. Yes.
Absolutely. I know that this also raised a lot of sentiments from different people, even on set. Hearing from the Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, who has directed its structures, affiliates, provincial fellowships, and church members not to participate in the nationwide memorial activities slated for the late president. According to them, it's both morally inappropriate and premature to hold nationwide memorial observances before the burial of the deceased has taken place. What are your thoughts surrounding this?
Thank you. Naomi, I know this has triggered a lot of debates now. Just yesterday I received close to 10, media queries. They wanted me to actually comment on that, but I reserved my comments. I said, you know what? I wouldn't love to take it that it's normal to actually have this memorial service, or it's not normal. But I think we need to look at the bigger picture. We are still talking about the Lungu family who are still mourning, We're still talking about the remains of the former head of state, which are not yet buried. So these are some of the basics, okay, which will not actually help us. We have the memorial, or we don't have it, but the truth of the matter remains that the remains of the former head of state are not yet buried. So this is maybe what we need to look at going forward. We need to see some kind of, an amicable way of handling this issue, so that at the end of the day, at least we should have the remains, put to rest, as we have done, for other heads of state that have left us. So let's look at the bigger picture. These issues of debating on just small matters, which will not actually give us any amicable solution, will not help us. I know Evangelical Fellowship, they've said, no need to hold this. Others will say, no, I think let's go ahead. So we will continue actually criticizing, we'll continue squabbling, but that will not help us. Let's look at the bigger picture. We still have a lot of work to do because the family is still mourning. We need to continue comforting the family.
Right.
Okay? The nation is still mourning. As you can see, we are in black. We still need to continue comforting one another. After all, we are also mourning our paramount chief, President.
As Zambians, that is the right thing to do. John Mark.
Yes.
Mr. Mianda, thank you so much for, of course, just deliberating on one or two things. Maybe even just before we conclude, just your word to the citizens out there. Some might be for the government, might be on the side of the government, might be cadres of the UPND, and they might not see the need because in their minds they're thinking to themselves, we're here, we're in this mess because the family has failed to succumb to what seems obvious. And also the opposite might also be true. Even for those who might be of the other camp, also pointing fingers and blaming. What is your message to the citizenry? We've talked about the politicians, we've talked about the family, we've talked about the government, but what about the electorate? Those who lined up along the Great East Road because they were told, okay, I think now the board is coming back. And I remember that very eventful day, people lined up, they lined up along the Great East Road and they were expectant. Those individuals who genuinely might have not necessarily met the president, but they voted for him at one particular point, others did not vote for him, but they still feel that sympathy and are still hurt in all of this. What is your message to them before we get your concluding remarks?
Take it easy. Take it easy, Zambians. We are all mourning. We are all affected. It's not maybe one group of people, maybe individuals that are more affected. We are all affected. We are all mourning, and we are all into this same situation. So take it easy. Those that feel they are more, they have more pain over this, I think should take it that we are talking about a public figure here, somebody who has presided over the national affairs. So don't take it personal. This is an issue to do with the state and the family. Praying and hoping that, at some point the two parties will sit down and find a lasting solution to this challenge. Then at the end of the day, we shall all actually be free. So don't take it personal. Let's actually remain focused because we still have a lot of things to do. John Mark, we are not only talking about money here. We need to look at other things. The country needs to move forward. So we have a lot to do. So if we focus much on some of these things, at the end of the day, we will not achieve the other parts. So let's remain focused. Let's remain peaceful citizens. And after all, we are in an election period, John Mark, where we need to ride on the message of peace that President Hakainde Hichilema has been preaching. That we need to have actually credible, peaceful elections. So meaning to say, even if we talk about these issues today, we talk about these elections, at the end of the day, life still continues. So let's remain focused and let's continue, being peaceful and responsible citizens, law-abiding citizens.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mianda. And of course, we'll go on a brief break, and then on the other side, we will end with issues to do with sports. We know that the World Cup is coming, and there are also other sporting disciplines that we also want to shed light on. We know that even as the media, it is our responsibility to shed more light on things that might not be trending so much, but are also of great importance. A brief break. On the other side, JC.
If it's not on Prime TV 2, verify it. Our dedicated reporters across the country bring you accurate, well-researched news, keeping you informed 24/7. Catch us on Topstar Channel 110 and follow us on Facebook at Prime TV 2 Zambia. Prime TV 2, the home of breaking news.
Last year in January, I think I went on leave, and then when I came back, I found that a segment was added to Daybreak, and it was a sports segment. I was excited because at least with sports, you can make a prediction and you cannot be hated. And that is why I love sports. That is why I really enjoy this segment, because at least we can agree to disagree. When it comes to politics, it's either you are this side or that side. It's difficult for people to find a common ground. That's why I'm so excited each and every time I see JC on a Monday and on a Friday. JC, it's a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be here as well. I know that a lot of people are expecting us to talk about the World Cup, but we're looking for sponsors. I like that. So that we can talk about it more. Right. But anyway, we have to count down, especially that we do have some of the African teams that will be participating at the World Cup. We know that some of the teams like Ghana really had to take a little bit of some long time for them to just come up with a team. And we know that one of the Abedi Perez sons is there, the younger one who is going to be the captain of the side. But anyways, away from that, we do have our local games that will be happening. Of course, we do have the futsal games that will happen. Of course, the playoffs have already started. This evening, we have some games that will be played. And we've got some of the teams that have qualified. Lusaka Automotive were perpetual winners. And then we've got Kafua Celtic, who really just joined, and they're really doing very well, thanks to Lee and making sure that he's got what he wants to gain from all these things that is happening. Of course, the team is playing very well. And then today we've got Moody Stars as well and Stantons. So those are some of the games that will be happening this evening. And then we've got Saturday that will have Quito Bullets will play against Green Buffaloes. And then we have Kafua Saints against CSS Petauke. So the winner will get into the semi-finals, and then the semi-finals will change because this time around it's a knockout stage. And then when we get into the semi-finals and the finals, they will be playing the best of 3 games or 3 series of games. So what will happen is the first game, second game will be played. If one team wins the 2 games, just the way basketball is also, if one team wins the 2 games, then there's no need to go for third game. But if they are 1-1 in series, they have to go for the third game, which is going to be very, very great to look out for. So these are the teams that finish on the top 8, and they have to get into the playoffs as well. So let's hope for the best, and then that's where we're going to see the champion who's going to win it in the finals. That's where they get there. And then we do have the mixed martial arts, premier mixed martial arts that happens every now and then. And we've got the 11th games that will be happening at OIDC. We've got great matchups. One of those matchups that we should be looking at is Mutinda Mwene. Will be fighting against Maria. And now Maria Ribeiro is one that she's a champion, MMA Africa champion. She managed to get a gold medal. So is Mutinda Mwene. So there are 2 champions that are fighting against each other. But these met again in one of the championships, and when I was beaten on points. But this time around, they're meeting again at OIDC on the 27th of June. So they will be hoping that this one, when they should win it, because she's been tremendous. She's been really fantastic. She's really proved to be better, and let's see how she's going to do this time around. And then another one that we have to look out for is there's always in the background, these people are friends, but then there's certain things that really comes up and happens every time that they're fighting. So we'll be looking forward to see how this is just going to be as well for them. And those are some of the matchups, so you can go and just have fun and do exactly what is supposed to come through. And then we have the basketball tournament that is happening as well in the finals. Will start on Saturday. So we've got the first game will be Sonic versus Wunza Pacers, and then we've got Buffaloes will be playing against Dolphins, and then Matero Magic will play against Munandi Suns. So that is another game that we have to look out for. And finally, we have to look at the four national tournament that is happening in Dola. Obviously, Zambia will be playing against Kenya tomorrow, and then of course the first game, Zimbabwe versus Lesotho. The winner will play against the winner, and the loser will play against the loser on Tuesday, 9th of June 2026. So they are preparing for the AFCON, which will happen next month. So hopefully we might just see Zambia playing better and do exactly what they're supposed to do. So Barbara Banda is hoping that this time around they will qualify to the World Cup, because this is a World Cup qualifier. So the four teams that will, the teams that will win in the semi-finals and get into the semi-finals, they will qualify to the World Cup. So 4 teams from this Africa Cup of Nations will qualify to the World Cup. That will be in Morocco. So we'll be hoping to see that. The Africa Cup will be in Morocco, but obviously, let's see how this is going to be for Zambia qualify for this great tournament. I think Zambia women have qualified before to the World Cup, and we hope that they will qualify again. So that's much more of what we have today.
Absolutely. I thought you would also talk about, I know that there was something happening even before we finally wrap up, the young referees. I did see them taking pictures with the first president, Keith Mwemba, during that FIFA Young Talent Referees course. What would be expected? What do they wish to do even after doing the course?
Yeah, I think one thing is, in most cases, what happens in Zambia is that we've had so many people that have been, obviously they were not happy with officiating that has been going on with the just finished league. There's so many things that happened, so many things that was going on. But with this training, I hope that they will do better. And I think this is an appeal to Football Association of Zambia. They should be having fresher courses every now and then, so that at least they are kept in the right frame and the right things that they're supposed to be doing. We had the FIFA referee who came through to officiate this, and it is a good thing that they will do this, and of course they will continue doing the right things, because we saw how teams blamed referees and how fights started because of officiating, which is not supposed to be the case. And I'm only hoping that they will uphold what they've learned from there. Absolutely.
John Mark.
JC, thank you so much for coming through. It's been a pleasure as always, and we want to appreciate each and every guest who came through, not just today, but even in the course of the week. Each and every call that we have received, the messages we have received, we genuinely appreciate, and we know that we will continue deliberations even next week as well. Thank you so much for following through on various platforms, sending in a message on our Facebook platform, Prime Television Zambia, liking, sharing the link. Your contributions, your calls, you make the show what it is. Sometimes it's possible to disagree on ideologies, but at the end of the day, we remain one Zambia, one nation. We should all be alive to the fact that it is our responsibility to maintain the peace that this nation has. By the way, we also communicate, and today you can also communicate even without opening your mouth, but on social media. So let's be cautious in the way we post and do also communicate. And sometimes you can agree to disagree. It is very, very normal, and we should also have this type of mentality even as we approach the 13th of August 2026. From those on set, those behind the scenes, on behalf of management and Prime Television Zambia as a whole, have a lovely weekend.